Hello and welcome to News Central TV. My name is Mazino Peel. And here are the final top stories making headlines beyond the continent for 2024. Now, it's the last day of the year 2024 and the world is buzzing with excitement as countries welcome the new year. As the clock strikes midnight across different time zones, nations are ushering in 2025 with spectacular firework displays and festivities. Now, the island nation of Kiribati in Oceania has made history by being the first country to enter 2025. Australia's iconic Sydney Harbour was lit up with a dazzling firework display, as you can see. Absolutely spectacular, Australia. And with a stunning show from the Auckland Sky Tower, New Zealand also ushered in the new year. Hong Kong has also joined the celebrations, welcoming in the new year with great enthusiasm. So as the world bids farewell to 2024, we'll be bringing you live updates from across the globe. So stay tuned for more on the New Year celebrations. Now, according to the latest polls, 7 in 10 Britons say that 2024 was a bad year for Britain. However, 6 in 10 Britons are optimistic that 2025 will be better than 2024 for them personally. For News Central, Afia Hagen asked people in London if they were optimistic for 2025 after a rocky 2024 for Britain.
2024 has been quite a year here in the United Kingdom. The general election means we have a new Labour government, but they are still struggling to make their mark. So we took to the streets of London to find out people's hopes, dreams and aspirations as we cross over into 2025.
You know, the living crisis of the people, the tax cut from the pensioners, that's a bit worrying. You know, safe place to stay for the people, and I'm hoping next year we can see a better light into, you know, giving back, I would say, what belongs to the older people. You know, it's a bit worrying.
I'm from Tanzania original. I work with the farmer in Tanzania, and it was nice here to learn more and more customer learning about my food, because I'm growing natural seed and no chemical, organic, and I'm going back to Tanzania by myself. I'm going to leave my son here. So I hope I'll do much better to help Tanzania people and the British people to eat better food. More self-peace, a lot of self-peace, and self-peace for myself, my daughter.
Beyond individual goals, violence in the capital and global turmoil remain significant concerns as citizens contemplate what lies ahead in 2025.
I'd like to see, political change. There's just been so many almost hands kind of crossed over, and, such movement in the world, wars happening, and also threats of wars. I think I'd like to see an end to that, peace, some sort of stability.
All we have to do now in this coming 2025 is to look after the children properly, to enable them know the consequences of the crime, as they are growing up now, because we as parents, we've done what it takes to get to this level and to this category, So we just have to look after them, to let them know, to separate them from the gangs that rampant here in London, as London is one of the most difficult and dangerous cities. It's nice anyway, based on how you look after your children.
From the cost of living crisis to wars across the world to crime in London, people have a lot on their minds as we come to the end of 2024, and they're definitely hoping that 2025 will be a better year. For News Central, I'm Afia Hagen in London.
And away from that, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has urged voters to safeguard democracy and resist outside influence as the country prepares for a snap election on the 23rd of February. Now, in his New Year's Eve address, Scholz emphasized that the power to decide Germany's future lies solely with its citizens, cautioning against manipulation by owners of social media channels. Now, while he did not name Elon Musk on his X platform directly, the remarks follow Musk's repeated endorsement of the far-right party Alternative for Deutschland. Musk has faced widespread criticism for openly using or urging Germans to support the AfD. The party, classified as a supremacist or rather suspected extremist group by federal authorities, has faced growing scrutiny over its divisive rhetoric.
Je in unseren Alltag getreten. Ein fröhlicher Vorweihnachtsabend auf dem Weihnachtsmarkt von Magdeburg verwandelte sich in einen unvorstellbaren Albtraum. 5 Menschen sind auf grausame Weise getötet worden, mehr als 200 wurden verletzt, darunter viele sehr schwer. Nach dem furchtbaren Attentat von Magdeburg dauerte es nur wenige Minuten, bis wilde Gerüchte durchs Internet und durch die sozialen Medien geisterten. Klar ist, wo es Versäumnisse gab bei den Sicherheitsbehörden, da werden diese aufgeklärt und abgestellt. Nicht wenige der Gerüchte und Mutmaßungen aber haben sich inzwischen als unwahr herausgestellt. Sowas spaltet und schwächt uns, sowas tut unserem Land nicht gut. Damit ist auch klar, wie es in Deutschland weitergeht. Das bestimmen Sie, die Bürgerinnen und Bürger. Darüber entscheiden nicht die Inhaber sozialer Medien. In unseren Debatten kann man ja manchmal den Eindruck gewinnen, je extremer die Meinung, desto größer die Aufmerksamkeit. Aber nicht, wer am lautesten schreit, bestimmt darüber, wie es in Deutschland weitergeht, sondern die ganz große Mehrheit der Vernünftigen und Anständigen. Das gilt auch bei der anstehenden Bundestagswahl am 23. Februar. Unsere Wirtschaft hat zu kämpfen, das Leben ist teurer geworden und viele blicken mit einem Gefühl wachsender Beklemmung auf Russlands brutalen Angriffskrieg gegen die Ukraine. Ich versichere Ihnen, dass wir die Ukraine nicht alleine lassen und weiter unterstützen, wie niemand sonst in Europa, und dass wir weiter kühlen Kopf bewahren, damit der Krieg sich nicht ausweitet. Und Ihnen und Ihren Liebsten wünsche ich von ganzem Herzen ein frohes und glückliches neues Jahr.
Still in Europe, rescue workers are racing to clean up the beaches along the Black Sea in southern Russia following a devastating oil spill on 15th of December. The spill, declared a federal emergency by Russian authorities, occurred when 2 oil tankers were struck by a storm in the Kerch Straits, a narrow waterway between Russia and the annexed Crimean Peninsula. Officials estimate that the tankers were carrying 9,200 tons of fuel oil, with approximately 40% of the cargo spilling into the sea. Thousands of volunteers have joined the cleanup efforts, but some Russian scientists have criticized the response as inadequate. Earlier this month, President Vladimir Putin described the incident as an ecological disaster, underscoring the scale of the environmental crisis facing the region. And in North America, tributes continue to flood the Carter Presidential Center in Atlanta, Georgia, as Americans honor the life and legacy of former U.S. President Jimmy Carter. Admirers have placed flowers, U.S. flags, postcards, and candles to pay their respects to the man who served as the 39th president. Carter, one of the longest-living U.S. presidents, passed away on 29 December 2024 at the age of 100. He had been in hospice care at his home in Plains, Georgia, since February 2023. His passing has prompted reflections on a defining trait of his life, decency, a quality many believe is rare in today's polarized political climate. Despite facing significant challenges during his single term in office, from economic struggles to the Iran hostage crisis, Carter is widely remembered as a symbol of integrity and humility. Now, in Central America, Panama on Tuesday celebrated the 25th anniversary of the historic handover of the Panama Canal from the United States, a milestone overshadowed by controversial remarks from U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. During a commemorative ceremony, Panama's President José Raúl Mulino reaffirmed the nation's sovereignty over the vital waterway, declaring that the canal would remain under their control forever. The anniversary comes shortly after the passing of former U.S. President Jimmy Carter, who died on Sunday at the age of 100. Carter was instrumental in negotiating the treaty that facilitated the canal's transfer on 31 December 1999. However, Trump, who is set to return to the White House on 20th of January, has drawn criticism in Panama, with comments suggesting that the United States could demand the canal's return if Panama fails to guarantee its secure, efficient, and reliable operation.
Tan especial, quiero saludar a todos los presentes y al pueblo panameño. Una mezcla de alegría por este 25 aniversario del canal en manos panameñas y una tristeza que nos invade por la muerte del presidente Jimmy Carter, quien junto a Omar Torrijos de las generaciones precedentes tuvieron la visión y la nobleza de recorrer el justo camino para que el canal tuviese la nacionalidad que correspondía, la panameña. Nuestras manos neutrales, que las naciones no temen que un canal del nivel estratégico como el de Panamá sea o tome parte activa en ningún conflicto. Porque a las panameñas nos interesa un mundo más conectado, con un comercio más abierto y con mayor intercambio de bienes entre los países. No hay otras manos en nuestro canal metidas, más que las panameñas. Pueden estar tranquilos. En nuestras manos se va a quedar para siempre.
On a break now, but when we come back, South Korean court issues arrest warrant for suspended president. We'll have this in more detail when we get back. Welcome back. Now, a South Korean court has issued an arrest warrant for suspended President Yoon, sparking a wave of protests outside his private residence. The warrant follows an investigation into Yoon's 3 December declaration of martial law, with prospectors requesting his arrest after he failed to appear for questioning on 3 occasions. Yoon's legal team has condemned the warrant as illegal and invalid and filed an injunction to block the order. Now, this marks the first time in South Korean history that an arrest warrant has been issued against a sitting president, further intensifying the political crisis engulfing the nation.
이 추운 날씨에 우파 국민들, 이 모든 절차가 불법이라는 것을 알고 있는 국민들이 여기 와서 이렇게 불법 체포영장 발부와 불법 체포의 현장에서 강력 저항해서 세계 방방곡곡에 이 불법 탄핵과 불법 체포영장 발부와 집행에 대해서 강력 항의하기 위해서 전 국민들이 이렇게 몰려들고 있습니다.
국가 애도 기간인데 중앙에서 이렇게 대통령 체포영장을 발부한 거는 말이 안 된다고 생각하고, 이재명 총리가 범죄잖아. 자기 구속이 안 되고 대통령만 체포영장 발부해서 현직 대통령을 끌어내는 건 말이 안 된다 생각해요.
네, 알겠습니다. 감사합니다. 네, 감사합니다. 그러니까 지금 탄핵 반대가 아니라 탄핵 무효, 불법 탄핵 반대로 들어가야 되고요. 지금 그 시민, 오죽하면 무지랭이 시민들이 나와서 어떤 법이라는 거는 그 상식적인 선을 가지고 있는 거예요. 저처럼 구의원에 도전하고 비례대표 이끌고 했던 사람뿐이 아니라 그 일반 시민들이 통하는 그런 상식적인 그런 게 법이고, 그런데 지금 민주당에서 말도 안 되는 법안을 얘기를 하면서
법관은 법의 양심에 따라 중심을 지키는데 이 재판관들이 정치 논리로 재판하고 있어요. 그래서 나는 그래서 내가
And now in the Middle East, members and supporters of the Palestinian Fatah movement gathered in Ramallah on Tuesday, waving flags at a rally ahead of the 60th anniversary of the party's founding. The event comes amid heightened tensions across the occupied West Bank. In Jenin, a frequent site of Israeli military raids, tensions have intensified following the arrest of several activities and militants by Palestinian security forces. Rival factions have condemned the arrests, accusing Fatah, which dominates the Palestinian Authority, of collaborating with Israel. These accusations have deepened divisions within the Palestinian political landscape as the region continues to grapple with ongoing conflict and unrest.
الشعب الفلسطيني يلتف حول مشروع ونهج حركة التحرير الوطني الفلسطيني فتح هذا المشروع الذي استطاع أن يحقق العديد من المكاسب والإنجازات السياسية الوطنية، وأن أي حالة دخيلة على حالتنا الوطنية والاجتماعية بلا شك أنها حالة مارقة لابد أن نخلص منها وصولا.
العملية الأمنية في مدينة جنين وتحديدا في مخيم جنين والتي تحمل عنوان حماية وطن ما زالت مستمرة ومتواصلة حتى تحقيق كافة أهدافها. لا يوجد حوار مع الخارجين عن القانون ولا تراجع عن تحقيق أهداف هذه الحملة في حفظ الأمن والنظام وبسط سيادة القانون واعتقال كل الخارجين عن القانون وتقديمهم.
Now, more than a year after being severely damaged by Israeli airstrikes, the Al-Nasser Eye Hospital in Gaza City has reopened its doors, providing essential medical services to a community in desperate need. Speaking at the reopening ceremony, Under-Secretary of the Ministry of Health in Gaza, Maher Shamir, described the occasion as bittersweet. He said, while the reopening represents a step forward, it is overshadowed by grief over the recent destruction of Kamal Adwan Hospital and the Indonesian hospital in ongoing attacks. The reopening of Al-Nasser Eye Hospital offers a glimmer of hope for Gaza's beleaguered healthcare system, which continues to face immense challenges due to protracted conflict and severe resource shortages.
في وزارة الصحة مع شركائنا جمعية البركة الجزائرية في إعادة تأهيل مستشفى العيون التخصصي، وهو المستشفى الوحيد الحكومي الكبير في قطاع غزة الذي أخرج عن الخدمة قبل 14 شهر من الآن، حيث أخرجه الجيش الإسرائيلي بقصفه. ربما يأتي هذا الافتتاح ونحن قلوبنا تعتصر ألم على تدمير وإحراق مستشفى كمال عدوان وتخريب مستشفى الأندونيسي. هذه رسالتنا للعالم أننا شعب يستحق الحياة وأن مرضانا يستحقون الحياة.
فبالتالي سيكون هناك خدمات الطوارئ حتكون عاملة على مدار الأسبوع. هناك أيضا كما ذكرنا اللي هو الخدمات الجراحية المختلفة تمام، والخدمات اللي بنسميها احنا الشورت ستي أو يعني الرعاية اليومية.
Now, in the meantime, a United Nations report released on Tuesday has highlighted the devastating impact of Israeli strikes on the Neir hospital in the Gaza Strip, warning that healthcare in the region, the territory, is on the verge of collapse. The report published by the UN Human Rights Office raised serious concerns about Israel's adherence to international law. It stated that repeated strikes and combat activities near medical facilities have been catastrophic, and they have catastrophic consequences, severely limiting Palestinian access to health and medical care. The 23-page report, titled Attacks on Hospitals During the Escalation of Hostilities in Gaza, examines the period from 7 October 2023 to 30 June 2024. It documents what it describes as a pattern of deadly attacks that have brought Gaza's healthcare system to the brink of failure.
UN Human Rights Office has found that Israel's pattern of deadly attacks on and around Gaza's hospitals pushed the healthcare system to the brink of collapse with catastrophic effect. The report graphically details the impact of Israel's attacks, from the destruction of buildings and facilities to the killings of patients, staff and other civilians, raising serious concerns about Israel's compliance with international law. The protection of hospitals during warfare is paramount and must be respected by all sides at all times. In essence, if the relentless bombing and the dire humanitarian situation in Gaza were not enough, the one sanctuary where Palestinians should have felt safe, in fact, became a death trap. Under certain circumstances, the deliberate destruction of healthcare facilities may amount to a form of collective punishment, which is also a war crime.
Now, Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels claim to have fired 2 missiles at Israel, escalating regional tensions to just hours after the Israeli military intercepted a projectile launched from Yemen. In a statement, the Houthi military said 1 missile targeted Ben Gurion Airport in Tel Aviv, while the other was aimed at the power station south of Jerusalem. The Houthis also alleged an attack on the U.S. aircraft carrier USS Harry S. Truman, though the U.S. military has not yet commented on the claim. Late last night, the Israeli military confirmed it had intercepted a missile launched from Yemen before it entered Israeli airspace. No injuries or damages were reported. These developments add to growing fears of a broader regional conflict amid escalating hostilities.
الصاروخية في القوات المسلحة اليمنية عمليتين عسكريتين نوعيتين. الأولى استهدفت مطار بن غوريون التابع للعدو الإسرائيلي في منطقة يافا في فلسطين المحتلة، وذلك بصاروخ باليستي فرط صوتي نوع فلسطين 2. العملية الأخرى استهدفت محطة الكهرباء جنوبي القدس المحتلة بصاروخ باليستي نوع.
And that's all on Beyond the Continent tonight, and indeed the year. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and do remember you can watch News Central live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and on YouTube. Many thanks for watching, and for the last time for 2024, my name is Mazino Appeal.